We're going to be developing a top-down survival game now, and this is going to require some outdoor landscapes, which means we're going to need some additional assets. So launch the current build of the engine. And from here, I want you to create a new project. Now in this instance, I'm going to be creating the project from a blank template. So once the editor is launched up, I want you to go to a new project and just select blank. And I'm going to be calling this survival. Again, blank. And this time around, I'm not going to bother with any of the starter content. So I'm just going to click no starter content because I believe there will be enough from the assets we'll be importing. So create project, and this will create a new project for us. Now, while this is going, I'm going to go about locating the assets that we're going to be building upon. So in your launcher, go to your marketplace tab and go up to the top and do a search for Infinity Blade. That launched over the top, so Infinity Blade, and just press enter. And this will do a quick search, and you'll see that we have a bunch of assets that have been developed by Epic, and these are all free. Now in this situation, the assets that we actually want to be building upon are these Infinity Blade Grasslands assets. So click on that, and then add it to the survival project that you've just created. So just go to here, and click add to project, and in this situation, I'm going to do a search for survival, and the project I'm going to add it to is this newly created survival project. Add to project. And now we wait. Now once this is completed, we'll have all of these assets that are in this set in our own game. And this is fantastic for quite a few reasons. Essentially, this content was developed for a mobile release, which means that it's all been pretty well optimized and we can use quite a lot of it no matter which platform we choose to deploy to. Since we're doing a game that's going to be top-down survival, it means that we don't really have to care all that much about what things look like when they're super up close, which is really, really useful for us. Now in this situation, this is now finished adding to the project, so I'm going to open up this, and if I were to go to my content browser, I'd now see that we have, I'm just going to click on this button here to open the sources panel, I can now see that we have Infinity Blade Grasslands as a pack that's been added. And if I double click on this, you can see that you have effects, environments, and maps. Now I could open the overview map and see what's there. It's, in my opinion, a better idea to start with how it's being used and then look at the number of pieces they used to create it. So I'm going to open up this Elven Ruins map for a quick overview and how this content is set up. So here we are, it's loaded up. I'm now going to click on the tab to open the map, and I'll see that I have this around. So hit G to go into game modes to get rid of all of the volumes and such. We can see that we have quite a bit of content here that we can use as a foundation for what it is we're developing. Essentially, I want to have a very similar environment to this that we look down upon from this kind of angle. We can click to send our player in different locations, and we can throw magic and swipe our sword as well. So in this situation, we're going to be developing off of all of these assets, and while this does look like a lot, it's a good idea to go to the overview map that's included with this package. So in the overview map, you'll see that while it seemed like we had a lot of content, there's this amount there. And don't get me wrong, this is all free, so I'm certainly not complaining, but it's great to know what you can do with limited pieces. And we're going to be extending on this with a couple of additions. Now that means it's time for us to start looking at the first stage of all of this, which is to create a landscape using the textures that are included in this pack as a way of having an environment that we can simply paint into. So, move on to the next presentation and check out how the landscapes go together.